Okay, of the couple of examples we're going to look at, I think this one here you might find the most straightforward. In this example, we're given what the slope is and what the y-intercept is, so it's just a matter of substituting it into the actual equation. In this example, our slope is given as 5. So what we can do is we can substitute 5 in for m, which stands for our slope, and rewrite the equation with the slope value in it. So we have y is equal to 5x plus b. Now in our second step, we're given the intercept, which is negative 4, and what we want to do is substitute in for b the value of negative 4 and rewrite it in its y-intercept form of y is equal to 5x minus 4. Okay, this example is slightly different. In this case, we have to select a few points in order to do our calculations. So we're going to be looking at finding the y-intercept, which I'm labeling as being right there, and then selecting a couple of points that I can use to calculate my slope. And I'm going to use those 2 points. So looking at my y-intercept, it's 0 on the x-axis, and then I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4 units until I'm at 0, 4, and my y-intercept in this case will be 4. So since I have my y-intercept, I can rewrite my slope-intercept form, y equals mx, m being the slope, plus b, where b is my y-intercept, and replace the b with the value of 4. Next step is to locate the points. My first point is 4 on the x-axis, negative 1 on the y-axis. My second is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down the y-axis, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the x-axis, so it gives me the coordinates 7, negative 5. Next step is to write out the slope formula, y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1, and in this case I'm going to choose y2 as being negative 1 and y1 as being negative 5 and substitute into the numerator, and start with my x2 value, which is going to be 4, minus my x1 value, which is 7, like I have here. Then I'm just going to have to give myself a little bit of room here, so I'm going to move that down and solve. And negative 1 minus negative 5 is the same as negative 1 plus positive 5, which gives me an answer of 4. And 4 minus 7 gives me negative 3. So I'm left with m is equal to 4 over negative 3. And we can do a quick check. The slope is negative, so this line should be falling to the right, which it is. So everything looks pretty good. And as we did before, we're just going to substitute the slope that we've just calculated into the formula, and we end up with the equation of our line slope-intercept form, and we have it at y is equal to negative 4/3 x plus 4. Okay, this is somewhat like what the one we just did, actually. It just requires that you remember something about parallel lines and their slope. And any line that is parallel to a given line has the same slope. So if we look at this line here, y is equal to 2x minus 4, we know that this is our slope, this is our y-intercept. So the equation of any line that goes through any other point but is also parallel has to have the exact same slope. So we can start by writing out our slope-intercept form. Since the equation we're looking at is parallel to this line here, it'll have the same slope. So we get y is equal to 2x plus b. And our last step is to find the y-intercept. Now that's given right here. So our final equation should be y is equal to 2x plus 2. Okay, we're going to start with this last example. It's kind of the same as the one we just looked at, except we have a different keyword. This time the keyword is perpendicular. And we're given that we're trying to find the equation of the line that's perpendicular to this line here. Now we know, because we know that this is in slope-intercept form, so y is equal to mx plus b, and in this case y is equal to 2x minus 4. and that tells us that the slope of this line is 2. If the slope of this line is 2, then the slope of the line perpendicular to it is the reciprocal of 2, which is 1/2, and has the opposite sign. So in this case here, the slope would be -1/2. Another clue that we're given is that it passes through the point 0, 2. And we know that when it passes through the y-axis with x equals 0, that what we have is the y-intercept. So we now have everything we need to put this line into y is equal to mx plus b form. We have the y-intercept of 2. We have the slope of -1/2. All we have to do is write it in slope-intercept form. So here we have our final answer in slope-intercept form. It's a line that passes through 0, 2, which is our y-intercept. It has a slope that is perpendicular to this line, and if you look at the perpendicular slope, you'd get -1/2, which flipped over would be +2, so that looks right as well. And we're done.